Good morning. Happy Tuesday. Hope you are ready to get some stretching in. We have a couple things planned for today, but as always, if you have anything that is a little tight today, needs a little extra love, feel free to drop that in the chat box and I will add that into what we're going to be doing today. We're going to be doing a little bit of stretching in our lower body, getting our hips opened up, do a little bit of chest work and a little bit of rotation through our spine. So that's kind of what our plan is for the day. So if you, I'm not seeing anything in the chat, so we can go ahead and get started. But if you think of anything, you can always drop that in there. I'll keep an eye out on that throughout the class. So we can go ahead and get started. We're going to start today in a standing position here. And what we're going to do is we're going to take a nice big deep breath. We're going to bring our hands overhead here. Let's go ahead and interlace our fingers, point them towards the ceiling here. And we're getting a nice shoulder stretch through here. What we're going to do is we're going to take a nice big deep breath. We're going to lean into our left foot, push our hands towards the right. So leaning over, we're going to get a nice stretch through the side here. Nice big deep inhales, really pushing those hands away from us, making sure we're feeling that stretch through our side here today, all the way in our lats through to our butt a little bit. Our lats actually do go all the way down to our pelvic bones. We're getting a nice stretch there. And on the next exhale, we can go ahead and return to center. And we're doing the same thing on the other side. So putting all of our weight into our right hip, pushing our hands towards the left. So the more we push those palms out, we're really going to feel that stretch through our side and into the shoulders a little bit too. The bigger the inhale, the more of a stretch you're going to feel. So really inhale into our lungs here, feeling our sides expand. And on our next exhale, we can return to center. We can drop those hands down to our sides. And what we're going to do after that is we're going to stretch out our chest a little bit more. So what we're going to do is we're going to interlace our fingers again behind our back, pushing our hands into the ground, pulling them apart, opening up our chest. So we're standing with our feet hip width. Hips are under the shoulders. We don't want to arch that back too much, but we're going to pull those hands apart while we're interlacing our fingers. And that's going to help us open up our chest and shoulders a little bit this morning. A big deep breath. Nice slow exhales. And let's go ahead and do one more deep breath here. And on the exhale, we can release those hands. And from here, what we're going to do is we're going to kind of go into a forward fold, but we're not going to go all the way down. So we're going to push those hips back, keeping that core tight in our back flat. We're going to go until our chest is parallel with the ground. We're going to have our arms straight out in front. So what we're going to do is a little bit of rotation here. So our hands are both facing the ground. What we're going to do, I'm going to take my right hand. I'm going to open up towards the ceiling, gazing past that thumb. So we're going to be nice and tall here. We're going to have a T with both our hands and then coming back down to that center position. And we're going to alternate sides here. So we did the right hand and now we're going to do the left hand, opening up towards the ceiling, gazing past that thumb, getting that stretch through our spine and exhaling back to the ground. We'll do a couple on each side here. So rotating, opening up as far as we can here. We'll probably be able to rotate a little further with each rotation here. You also may notice that one side is a little bit tighter than the other, maybe a little bit harder to get up. And that is totally okay. That's why we're doing this. We're warming up our spine. We've probably been sitting the majority of the mornings. We're just waking that spine up today. Focusing on the breath, gazing past our thumb as we go up. Great job. Let's go ahead and do one more on each side. Opening up as far as we can. Back to center. And last one here. Great job, everyone. And returning back down. And what we can do from here, since we're kind of already in a forward fold, we can go ahead and bring those hands towards the ground here. And if you can't reach the ground, go ahead and place your hands on your feet, shin or ankles, whatever feels most comfortable. We're really going to relax into this stretch here. And from here, once we're down and we're comfortable and we're starting to feel that stretch in the back of our legs, we can go ahead and walk our hands to one side. So I'm going to take my hands, walk them towards the left side, get a little bit of a stretch throughout the low back here and throughout our sides as well. Trying to get our hands as close to the ground as we can. We can also keep that on the foot, shin, or ankle, whatever is most comfortable for us today. Nice, big, deep breaths here. Sighing away any tension we feel. And on the next exhale, we can go ahead and do that same thing on the other side. So walking our hands over to the right side here. Again, going as far as we feel comfortable. The ground is not comfortable for you to reach to. Again, foot, ankle, or shin, whatever is available to you this morning. Really filling up those lungs, sighing away that tension. Great job, everyone. On the next exhale, we can go ahead and walk those hands back to center. And from here, we can go ahead and walk our hands forward into a plank position. So I'm just going to move my camera down a little bit. So we're walking our hands out like we're doing an inchworm here. Walking those hands all the way out. And once we're in this plank position, we can go ahead and take our right knee first. We're going to place that in between our hands, going down into a pigeon pose, stretching out our piriformis. I know mine is very tight today, so this feels very nice. But you can stay on your hands or you can go down to your elbows, whatever is comfortable today. And we're breathing into our belly, feeling that low back expand, feeling our piriformis expand, which is that tiny muscle under that glute. Get pretty tight from sitting, or if you ride a bike a lot, or even just from doing a nice leg workout, or even running. Sometimes it just will get a little tight. So this will help us loosen that up. And sometimes when the fronts of our hips feel tight, all we got to do is stretch out the back of our hips and it will help us feel a little bit looser. So that's why we're doing this stretch today. Hopefully it feels very nice. Want a good medium tension stretch here. Really putting that pressure on the front leg here. Great job. Let's do one more big inhale here. Slowly exhaling. And we can go ahead and come back to our hands. If you're on your elbows, we're going to tuck the toe of the left foot, push ourselves back up into that plank position. And we're going to do that same thing again on the other leg. So left knee be coming in between our hands. Back leg is nice and straight on the ground, coming down to the elbows, or you can stay on your hands. Again, whatever is most comfortable and available for you today. Whatever you need, customize the stretch to you. And we're feeling that nice tension here right in the glutes, more specifically right under the glutes. Maybe a little bit in the hamstrings if your hamstrings are tight. Nice, big, deep belly breaths. Breathing into the tightness we feel today. Awesome job, everyone. We can do one more deep inhale here. Slowly exhaling. You can go ahead and come back onto our hands after that exhale. Tuck the toe of the leg that's straight. Push ourselves back up into the plank position. And from here, let's do a little bit of down dog. So pushing those hips up, getting a nice stretch through the shoulders and back. Even press those heels into the ground for a little bit of a calf stretch here. Just opening everything up. Let's do one more deep breath here. And we can go ahead and walk those hands back up towards our feet. And once we're in that forward fold, we can gently roll up to a standing position. Nice and slow. Head, neck, and shoulders, the last things that come up. When we get to the top, we can do a shoulder roll if that feels good for you. But that's going to be all the time I have for this morning's stretch break. So thank you all so much for joining me. I hope you feel nice and refreshed, ready to get on with the rest of your workday. We do have one more stretch break today at 2:30 with me. And then we do also have a boot camp class as well as yoga today. So boot camp at 12, yoga at 12:30. So if you'd like to relax more, feel free to join in on yoga. You can find our full class schedule up on our SharePoint site. Just type in Exos.Autodesk onto Autodesk One and you'll be able to find that. And we do still have our virtual blood drive going on. So we have some fun prizes for the office that wins. So definitely sign up for that again on our SharePoint site. So thank you all again so much for joining me, and I'll see you all soon.